Welcome to the Simmons Show. I am Sith Lord Luke. Tonight I'm here with
Hunter
and
Michael.
and we are covering a little bit of our WrestleMania card that we just got through. Personally, I wasn't super impressed this year. Not that I have been for a few years, but to be honest with you, it wasn't horrible. Just wasn't anything fantastic. And we're just going to throw some opinions on. We're not going to cover every match tonight. It is very late, and that pay-per-view went longer than expected. Of course, they tend to do that nowadays because they can. But anyway, so I'm just going to start off with Hunter and ask him, what was your match of the night? What your opinions on any?
I'd have to say the tag titles, mainly because it was just the best match overall. And the Hardys had some pretty good spots, but I just enjoyed the fact that they came back for a return.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I don't know. I guess I had to do the tag team match as well. The spots with the ladders were pretty cool.
Yep.
Seeing the Hardys come out as a late addition to the match, that was kind of nice to see too. And it wasn't overall. You weren't really expecting it, so I would have to say the tag team match with the Hardys, the ladder spots, and seeing Jeff do what he's done previous years by getting the tallest ladder he can find and flinging himself off it.
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah, I think I have to agree with you guys. I think the tag team match, the tag team championship match, was definitely match of the night. Having going in thinking that Enzo and Big Cass were going to win it, and then having the Hardys come out. At first, I thought, no, they're not going to give it to them. I mean, my original thought was they're still going to go with what their original plan was because they're going to get a big enough pop. It's not going to matter if they have the championship.
Well, see, I thought about the whole thing when it started back in TNA was the Quest for Gold or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And they wanted to go for so many titles, and they were heading for every company, and
Yeah, that's true.
they were picking up belt after belt after belt. So
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, it makes sense. But I will say though that I wasn't disappointed. I love the Hardys. I've always been a fan of them. And I'm very happy to see them back. Hopefully they'll have at least a little bit of a run. Kind of like Kurt Angle, they're home. This is where they should be.
Yep. They should go out at WWE.
as for a run, I'm not too sure. I don't see him holding the belt for 6-7 months. I guess it really depends. We haven't really heard anything, so
No.
I mean it's possible. So I would say hold the belt for what is it? Payback? Is that the next pay-per-view?
Yeah.
It is. Drop him a Payback,
Yeah, maybe.
or
But
they
I-
go over to SmackDown and
Yeah.
Right,
snap those
which-
ones up.
That's a possibility. I mean, who knows? They could lose them tomorrow just to say that they had them.
Yep.
Yep.
But at the same time, I want to see them in the WWE for a little bit of time.
Yeah,
Whether
me
they're
too.
champions or not, I want to see them. I just think that with as much as they've built up their characters in other companies now, you being TNA, being ROH, I want to see that what they can do in the WWE with more competition, not necessarily better competition, just
A better
different.
tag team division was
Yeah.
done in
Yes.
the past.
Yes, best one they've had in a long time. But besides that, I think another shock to me, and I know we've discussed earlier, was the Raw Women's Championship match.
Yeah.
I was way off on this one.
See,
I-
now I wasn't off. I'm not surprised Bailey won it, but I'm surprised Bailey won it. And it was not the way that she won; it was the way the fall happened.
Yeah,
Naya,
Yes.
I don't care. The three of them double teamed her, triple teamed her. That was fine. She's a big lady.
that's okay.
Comes off bad. I'm sorry. She's a bigger lady, and she's really mean. But all three of them pinned her, and then it was this domino effect, one
Yeah.
after the other after the other.
Right.
Sasha's face into the turnbuckle, done. Charlotte pretty much being like a version of Bailey DeBelly off the top rope, and then she did a Macho Man elbow drop. Boom, finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't really a great finish for sure.
Mm-mm.
I was a little disappointed in the match. I think that had a lot more potential than they used.
Yep.
I also wonder if they were kind of rushing it a little bit, trying to get it through. I felt that way with a few matches tonight. Now, personally, my surprise of the night, the match that I thought was going to be just a complete.
Here comes Neville and Aries. You ready?
Well, no, actually, I wasn't going to say Neville and Aries. I thought that was great. I
Rock
thought they
and
did good.
Goldberg.
Actually, Seth Rollins and Triple H.
Mm.
I was expecting it just to be Triple H beating the hell out of Seth Rollins with the sledgehammer, with chairs and all that stuff, they actually had a decent match. Yes, they used weapons, but it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be another, Brock Lesnar Undertaker or Brock Lesnar Triple H, where it's just weapon, 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 and it wasn't. They actually had some wrestling in it. I'm not saying it was great. I'm just saying that it was different than I expected.
The non-sanctioned match thing happened when Shawn and Triple H did it years ago. It was the same concept, Obviously, it wasn't PG then, so the weapons were fine. For surprise factor and anything else besides just that match, Stephanie taking a bump.
Yeah, through a table.
That surprised me a little bit when she hit the table and she was down for the count. And the only thing I did not like about the match was the finish. I don't care that Hunter got pinned. That happens, but he got beat by his own move.
Yeah.
That seems kind of like
it's outrageous.
Sucks for you, bud. I'm sorry, but you're going to lose to the pedigree.
Right. Yeah, and I guess it does kind of make sense that they did it that way, only because of the fact that throughout the match, they had so many tries at it between the two of them. It was Triple H would try, Seth would try, then they would reverse and back and forth, and to have it finish that way, I can see why they did it. I do wish that maybe he would, that Seth would have went to one of his older moves,
curb stomp.
The curb stomp, or something.
Just like how Randy was going to do the punt today.
Right. I think that would have been kind of cool to see, or pull something new out. I mean, he had mentioned something about pulling out something new, and I didn't see it. I don't think he did anything new. But overall, it was an okay match, better than I expected. Yep. Let's move on to the other.
So I got one for you. Okay. I got a couple other ones I want to hit on. These will be really quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
One was biggest disappointment. Overall, not just like something that you're thinking of. What was the biggest disappointment of the night?
Roman Reigns and Taker. Reigns shouldn't have won.
No, I agree. I don't think Reigns should have won. I mean, especially if it is, supposedly going to be Undertaker's last match, because that's kind of how they made it look.
That's what it looked like in the end. Hat in his gloves.
I kind of wish it would have been a win for Taker. Maybe somebody against somebody who deserves it more than Roman.
Yep.
But I guess it was kind of disappointing. I do like how the Taker went out, though, as far as his exit and stuff. I thought that was okay. No, I think he should win one more. I think he should win one more, maybe against somebody like, in my opinion, Kane, John Cena. Yes, I know that's going to piss some people off, but at least it's somebody who makes sense. I know they're just trying to put over Roman Reigns, and I'm not sure if this was the right way or not. We'll find that out soon.
I don't think it puts you over the right way as being a face, more like a heel.
Yeah, and they want him over as a face, and I don't think that's going to do it. I agree with you on that.
Another disappointment is Mojo Rawley winning the Battle Royal.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I did sort of call that he was going to be one of the top two that were going to win it.
We can replay it if you want.
Yeah, I know. I did call that it was either going to be him or Braun Strowman. But
now I would have thought it'd been great when they get rid of Big Show and Braun, Sammy.
Yeah,
he's a likely guy. He's always the underdog all the time. So.
Yeah.
But I cannot believe they'd hand it to Mojo.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there was a reason.
Well, I don't either. And I just, I guess one of those times where internet rumors were true. Yep. They did it. They gave it to Mojo.
So what was your other, negative of the night?
I don't know. I think there were the other women's championship, Alexa Bliss, it was pretty predictable. But I think that as far as they rushed it. I think they really rushed it. They put it up really high in the card, and they ended up just kind of rushing it.
Yep, it was a blowout match.
It really was, and I figured that she was going to lose it to Naomi, and well,
especially since Naomi had to give it up the night after she won it.
Right,
and the fans wanted it.
And it does make sense why they did it. And I'm not saying she's not deserving of it. She is. She's worked very hard. She's really gotten over with the crowd, but I don't know. I just hopefully she can do something with it, make it interesting.
Unlike in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't really too enthused. It was just one high spot after next, and it really was just who can do the finishers first.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think the other one that was a little bit of disappointment for me was Bray and Randy. I really had hope for it.
I gotta tell you though, the ring was pretty cool.
The ring stuff was really
different.
Cool. Yeah.
Amazing.
But other than that, the match was stale.
Yep.
It seemed boring. I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I like Bray. I don't mind Randy. but the match didn't do anything. I've seen better John Cena and Randy Orton matches.
Yeah, I agree.
And Brace had better matches before.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I also think that it would have been cool to see maybe a surprise appearance with all the build up and everything between Bray and Randy to have Eric Rowan. Yep, Eric Rowan show up, or even maybe if they decided to bring in Sister Abigail as a living person, or so to speak.
A rocking chair that moves by itself.
Yeah, but I think it would have been kind of cool to see them do it at WrestleMania. Something, and it just wasn't there. Now,
when you're done, I got a fun one for you.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Favorite entrance?
Ooh.
Because I can give you two of them right off the top of my head, and one of them's not really an entrance. Is when the New Day came out and said there's been a fourth team added, and the first thing you're thinking of, just for the reason of when you see the New Day come out, you're looking at the New Day.
Yeah.
Here comes their next reign for the titles. Then all of a sudden the music hits, and you're like, oh my God, it's the Hardys.
Yeah, I agree.
It wasn't even an entrance. It was just hearing them come out, and all of a sudden they're doing their routines with their two fingers, like they're shooting and all that stuff. That was really cool. But I'm kind of stuck between Randy Orton's Snake, because that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Seth Rollins.
And Seth Rollins, where he has the torch, where he's going to run the torch down, almost like he was passing the torch off, or he caught the torch from Triple H, and he set the stage on fire.
Yep.
And how it burned all the way down like a stick of dynamite, and then blew up to the top. That was pretty cool.
That was.
Roman's was pretty cool too, though.
Yeah, Roman's was good too.
Same concept.
Yeah.
Just kind of late to the party.
I will say that I did like how Randy Orton's Snake followed him. It was basically with him all the way down. I thought that whoever was watching it and taking control of it did a good job with it. That was really cool. That snake was creepy too.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of snakes, but I'm not afraid of them either. But that was pretty creepy. But no, I agree. They had some awesome entrances. And I don't want to take anything away from Triple H and Stephanie coming out. I thought the bike thing was cool. They should have just done it without the police.
Yep.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it really didn't make sense to me either. I think it would have been cool just to have just him come, the two of them come down. That bike was awesome, by the way. I'm not a big motorcycle person, but I thought that bike, the custom paint job, the whole thing was really cool. I thought that was a lot of fun, and Triple H is always going to have the big entrance, but
that's the funny thing is, though, there was really no big entrance this year compared to the past years.
Oh no, definitely not. Cena's was basic, and I expected his to be a big thing.
They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything, and we won't even talk about that match. That was just
crap.
Yeah, it was crap like expected to be.
The only thing really big that happened was the weird proposal.
Proposal that everybody saw coming, including.
Reese never really had any time in the ring.
No.
So I don't know if she just didn't have any care to be in the ring. If she has so much ring rust, they just didn't want to give her anything.
Right.
So
I don't know. And to me, it didn't feel like it was anything fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just It
was like a grudge match.
Yeah, a grudge match, but it didn't really have an ending. I don't feel it was over.
Well, just like Goldberg and
Brock.
Brock again.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And speaking of that match, I will give them credit as far as like they did go longer than I ever expected. Everybody of course knew Brock was probably going to win it, and there was a couple of times where I admit I started to doubt it, but at the same time, I'm like, no, Goldberg has already said he's pretty much leaving again, and I think that it was just a matter of, getting the match over with. But it wasn't a 2-minute match like I predicted at all. Mm-hmm. I'll give them credit; they were able to go a little longer. Yes, there was a little rest time.
If you take the bump on the outside of the ring to rest, to move around, show it a little bit. I don't know, maybe looking at 5 minutes.
Right.
It wasn't a long match at all. They had a couple high spots, which was really the barricade.
Right.
So that's really all we're looking at.
Yeah. But it was better than I expected to be.
Yeah.
As far as the match goes, I'm not saying it was anything great by any means. It's not memorable, but at least it was better than I was expecting.
So I'm gonna say the best thing of the night probably had to be the actual the arena looked pretty cool.
The arena was very
cool. The roller
cool.
coaster.
Yep. Just to touch on one more match really fast, and that would be the Neville Austin Aries match. I thought that was a good way to kick it off, and I thought they did a good job together.
Yeah.
I wasn't personally disappointed. I like Austin Aries. I was kind of expecting him to win, but I was also hopeful that Neville was going to win because I think it puts him over more as a heel.
He had a pretty clean victory too.
Yeah, he did. And that's another thing that surprised me is some of the clean victories tonight. It was clean.
Some of the clean victories, almost all of them.
Yeah, you're right. Almost all of them were.
There really was no dirty victories, like grabbing the tights.
No, and no interferences and stuff by people. Yeah, they did have a lot more clean than they usually do.
Yeah, especially Owens. That was a good victory.
Yeah, it was. And another decent match.
Yep.
So anyway, but any other last thoughts? I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. We're gonna cut this one short tonight because it is so late. So anyway, I'm Sith Lord Luke. If you guys have last thoughts, introduce yourself one last time and give them.
No, I'm good. Covered just about everything.
Only thing I would say is Hunter's favorite finished out the show with Flo Rida and his lunchbox trio.
No. No.
So
No.
Yeah, well, we won't go there either.
No.
pick another group next year. Something
Yeah,
different.
they really
please.
need to
Other
pick
than that,
somebody.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to add. There was really nothing that stood out to me. The entrances really never popped. The Hardys were the actual biggest surprise of the night.
Yes.
And probably one of the best surprises.
And
of
sad
the
thing
night.
is that was early in the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was really nothing else that stood out for me.
No.
Most of the
No.
matches felt kind of stale. Some of them felt kind of rushed. There was no other surprises. There was nothing that really stood out and says, this is the match you want to watch tonight. This is the card you need to see every year. These are the guys you want to watch every day and every night.
Yep.
Nothing stood out for me. People like Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin, their match wasn't bad, but it wasn't a top match. And then start WrestleMania off with AJ and Shane.
Yeah.
It was a good start, but it really didn't go nowhere after that.
No, it didn't. But again, I mean, that's something else we didn't touch on. But that was a decent match. I'll give
Yes.
them that.
Yeah.
I guess it was kind of as expected, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's it for tonight. This is the Simmons Show, and I don't know. We're gonna work on another one. We'll
So this will probably be the last one for wrestling, maybe until Payback happens. At the end of the
possibly,
month.
yeah.
But there probably will be other ones that'll pop up, maybe
Yes.
occasionally for like a game. I'm not sure which ones are coming out. I'm a little out of the loop.
Yeah,
on
I
this.
am too, unfortunately.
So
but
I don't know what other movies are really coming out besides which ones are in May, like Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
right.
But there will be other ones that pop up occasionally. Maybe we'll just talk
And-
about favorite tag teams in the past 10 years.
Yeah, or even we'll just shoot the shit, as they say. We'll find something to talk about. There's
That's
always
Kobe's
something.
move, the SOS. Remember that.
So
We're gonna leave it on that for the night.
So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We always welcome your feedback.
Please give some feedback.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, we would love to hear something. And
I suck at this editing stuff, so you guys got to tell me something.
hopefully this one or this will continue for a while, and we'd love to get a bigger audience. And like I said, we welcome everything from cheers to jeers. Let's
Yeah, give us some criticism.
Yeah. If it's
Something.
okay with you guys can give us some recommendations on what to talk about too.
Yep, that's always
Any
welcome.
kind of hints
So,
and tips and tricks, right?
all right. Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you as soon as possible.
Have a good night.